Let's go on and check our solving. If we have a situation like this, I know the angle and know the hypotenuse, but I'm missing my adjacent side. How do we solve for this one? Same thinking questions here. Go ahead and pause. So we see that our angle is 32. The side we know is hypotenuse, which is 12 cm. Adjacent is missing, which is x. So then we think that since I have hypotenuse and I need adjacent, then I use cosine. So same thinking process here as the last two. All right, so taking our thinking with us, let's set up our equation. Cosine of theta is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So theta being 32, we plug in here, equals adjacent, which is x, divided by hypotenuse, which is 12. Into our solving we go. Cosine 32 is about 0.8480. Since x is being divided, I'm going to undo by multiplying on both sides by 12, and we get x is equal to 12 times 0.848, which is about 10.176, and we round up to 10.18. In the picture, we see x is a little bit shorter than 12, so this is making some sense. So what if my hypotenuse is the one that's missing? Let's say that 12 is now my adjacent and x is my hypotenuse. Then we see that our responses will change. The side we know is our adjacent, which is 12, and the side we need is hypotenuse. So since I know adjacent and I need hypotenuse, I still again use cosine. Setting up our equation, we have cosine theta equals adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So now cosine 32 is equal to 12, which is our adjacent now, divided by x, because that's our hypotenuse. And then solving, cosine 32 is still the same, 0.8480. Now we have to switch and divide because our x is now in the denominator, just like before. So then x is equal to 12 divided by 0.8480, which is about 14.15. So again, same process, it's just a matter of setup. So again, process for cosine here, very similar to the other two. Now we're focusing on adjacent and hypotenuse. Then we set up our cosine equation. And then just like before, start with simplifying. Then if we are solving for adjacent, the numerator, we multiply by the denominator. If we're solving for hypotenuse instead, which is the denominator, we switch and divide. Starting with our level 3 equations, go ahead and pause here, find out which ones we have, which one's missing, set up your cosine equation and solve. Go ahead and pause. And so we have our hypotenuse, but we don't know our adjacent, and so we need cosine. Cosine 55 is equal to x divided by 14. Those are coming from the picture. Cosine 55 in the calculator is about 0.5736. So all we need to do here is multiply by 14 on both sides, and x is equal to about 8.03. Okay, one more. Go ahead and pause here. Same process. So now our angle is the 47. We know hypotenuse and we're missing adjacent again. So again, we set up cosine. 47 equals x divided by 15. Cosine 47 in the calculator is about 0.6820. Now all we need to do is multiply by 15 on both sides, and we get x is about 10.23. For our level 4 question, go ahead and pause here, set up very carefully, and you can follow similar processes as before.